What we've learned about building international teams. So on my end, this is something that I have observed while our boss Cody and our general manager were working out on things and how to better in terms of building international teams. So number one, it starts with you. Of course, again, you are business owners. You need to take accountability. It is your business. Whatever happens for the business, it all goes back to you. Not your manager, not your HR, not your virtual assistant. It's you. Yes? Are we all good? Yep. Do you want me to dance a bit with the presentation, or are you? Yeah. All right. Again, take ownership. Yep. But before we go any further, these are some of the burning questions that we got asked by our incoming clients. So what about data security? I believe she asked that earlier because she's in the medical field. One of our biggest clients, by the way, at WorkPod is in the medical industry. It's called GP Hero. Yes, yes. He's one of the co-owners of GP Hero. And there are a lot of like compliance, but they were able to come up with something in order to pass that. They have a certain software, I think that's called CrowdStrike. And then the staff member cannot do their job at home or in a different business. It should be the same IP address, so it should be stationed where WorkPod is. So, yeah. So this is GP Hero. They just celebrated their second year anniversary. So that's Dale and Cody and some of the key leaders of GP Hero. Next is my staff won't support an offshore team. So again, it is your responsibility to let them know, explain to them why we're actually hiring an offshore team. It's not about they'll be replacing your responsibility. It's more on you need to empower them that hey, we'll be adding another team member in the team, and it's yours. It's gonna be your turn to help them. Upskill themselves and learn about the ins and outs of the business. Yep. What if my new staff don't have enough to do? So these are some of the common questions as well. We actually have what we call the ultimate VA task checklist. So we have heaps of task lists here that you can just stick out, and then by the time you're done, you'll be able to come up with said responsibilities. So you can go to workpod.com/checklist. All right. Yeah, so you can check that one out. Next is to build SOPs. Yes, that's very crucial. And with the AI, just as Matt shared earlier, you can actually build systems through AI, so you can make use of that if you don't have the time. But it doesn't need to be really fancy, especially if you're just a growing team. It can be as simple as how to open an email, for example. So you create systems such as that one, or you can ask David because that's their specialty. Next is to create flowcharts, videos, templates, and written guides. I think someone here shared earlier that they train someone for 3 weeks, and then after that, they tend to go elsewhere. I don't know what's the reason, but from experience, some of the reasons would be like they feel like the business is not that systemized. Like when they go inside, they can be doing this, and then later on be doing that and this, and then every day it's a different thing to do. And for some Filipinos, especially if they're starting out, they really want to have it like organized and systemized, and it should be repetitive at the first stage, when they're being onboarded. But as the time goes and you see that they are, adjusting to the responsibility, that's the time you can give them other things to do. Yep. So simple as creating flowcharts, again, videos, written guides, because just in case you're out of town, they, they won't be calling you all the time. Oh, hey, how can I do this and that? Because you already have systems built in. You have templates that they can check. And if it's really not there, then that's the time that they can call you. Yep. Yep. So an example using a lucid chart. store them in an internal intranet and keep them updated. So it's best, yep, to have it in an intranet so everyone in the organization can have access to it, and not just because you're the CEO, you'll just keep all of the intranets yourself and update them yourselves. So your team members can have access to it. They don't know what are the changes, what should be done, etc. So, yep. Train, position, and empower employees. So, of course, you need to oh, it's a different one. Yep. So it's important to train, position, and empower employees. Number one for training is that don't expect someone to be a superstar when you hire them. I think this is a common misconception of some business owners hiring for virtual assistants. Like, oh, I want to get a general VA, and they should be able to do social media management, marketing, bookkeeping, all sorts of responsibilities. And humans as we are not perfect. We cannot do everything at once, So you can hire someone with a general VA who's got like an administrative skills, and you can upscale that person. You can train that person to take on other responsibilities in the business. Yep. And of course, you need to empower employees. A good example would be for Cody. He knows that I love talking to people, and I think that's the reason why he keeps on just, letting me go to conferences and have me talk to people, although I get really, really scared, but I want to push myself. And I think that's a really good training in a way. Yeah. So next is to document the roles and responsibilities. That's why it's best before you put forward a job ad, you need to come up with their job description. So that includes, again, the responsibilities, and then the title of the role. So they know, the sense of direction to their jobs. Next is to structure your team. And then train, and train again and again. It's really important to do check-ins with your team members and ask them, what are the blockages, and then you train them, or you try to change some of the systems. Maybe, there's something wrong with the system, and then you need to change it. A case study about that, say for example, for GP Hero, we actually had a 2-week intensive in-person training for them, but before they got in, one of their requirements is to actually have a healthcare background. Yep. So most of them has worked in a healthcare account before, and then once they got in, they had the 2-week intensive in-person training. I can also. Did you print this out as well? No worries. Yep. So if you want a copy of that, you can just go to gphero.com.au/training for just a reference on how to come up with a training guide. Next is to measure and improve output. So for you to be able to do that, you need to come up with KPIs, for you to know which areas needs improvement on, and then there are numbers for you to know where the team is at.
I hope you enjoyed that clip. Just a heads up, it was a snippet taken from the Business Systems Accelerator program, which is the world's first training for systems champions to help you build a systems-driven organization. If you'd like to find out more about the program, head over to systemology.com/BSA, and I'll see you in the next video.